Hey everybody, I'm back and I saw the wedding day tag going around and I thought it would be super fun to do. I know that I had a great time on my wedding day and I thought I would just share it with you guys. Okay, so let's get started. So, questions. How long after the big question was your wedding day? This is actually a little bit of a funny story. My husband and I only spent 17 days face-to-face. We were living, I was living on the West Coast, he was living on the East Coast, and we had been talking on the phone after a mutual friend suggested that we talk. And he moved across the country after 17 days of hanging out with me, basically, face-to-face. And he moved into my apartment the weekend of Labor Day, and the day before Thanksgiving he proposed, and then we were married the following October. So 11 months. Did you already have a dream vision of your wedding? What was it? I didn't have a dream per se of certain things that I had to have, or things like that. I mostly wanted to have the traditional things in my wedding that I saw at family weddings growing up. I have a pretty large family, so I was always excited to do just some of the more traditional things. Did you have help planning your wedding? Yes, lots of help actually. Both my husband and I were living in Arizona at the time that we were got engaged and were planning the wedding. And so my mom and my bridesmaids, friends, family, and my aunts, they were all basically doing the majority of the stuff. My in-laws went and ran our deposit down to the hall. My mom was, calling different halls, banquet halls where we wanted to have it, and my mom and her best friend, they bought the guest book, and she picked out the cake. Well, we had a cupcake tower, but they handled all of that. I really didn't have anything where I was like, absolutely not, has to be this or that. There really wasn't too many things. We didn't even want to have a cake, but my mom said that would be rude. So, because we don't eat sweets really. So, but we did end up with a cupcake tower. Let's see. Local or destination? It was local. We moved back to Ohio a few months. Moved back to Ohio in July. We were married in October, and the wedding was local. Small or large invite list. We ended up inviting, I want to say like 220 people, I believe. But a lot of those people were our family and friends that lived out of state and that we knew weren't going to be able to come, but obviously invite them anyways. Small or large wedding party. I had 5 bridesmaids. He had 5 bridesmaids were good friends of mine, and my cousin, and then the groomsmen were my husband's brothers and my 2 brothers. Wedding colors. This sounds a little weird, but our wedding colors were purple and like a burnt orange, so fall type colors. Indoor or outdoor? Definitely indoor. We got married in Ohio. You absolutely never know what the weather's going to do. Case in point, it rained every day before our wedding and every day after, and it was freezing. The day of our wedding, there was not a cloud in the sky. It was beautiful. So you really just can't take that risk. Religious or non-denominational? My husband and I are not religious people. However, we did get married in a church. We got married in the church that was my grandmother's, and the pastor who officiated our wedding was the pastor of that church, and I kind of decided on him because he did such a great job at my grandma's funeral service that he's just that kind of person. That's definitely his calling. So we got married in a very small church that my grandma used to attend. I should say that both my mom and my aunt and several other members of the family were also married there. Wrote your own vows? Yes, we did. Saw each other before the ceremony. We weren't supposed to, even though we were living together. It's the whole superstitious thing. However, my husband collects toys, which sounds weird. He collects action figures like G.I. Joes, stuff like that. And our cake topper were G.I. Joes. And I had spent the night at my mom's and he had stayed at our house, and my mom called me from the hall saying, we don't have the cake toppers. So I went to the house where he was and said, I don't know what we're using. I need the cake toppers. So technically we saw each other for like a minute, but I just woke up, you know, in sweatpants, whatnot. But after that, no, we didn't see each other. Let's see, photographer, videographer. Yes, we had a photographer. She was a girl that was neighbors actually with my husband before we moved in together. And we did have a videographer. I went to school for broadcast journalism, and a friend of mine, as a wedding gift, videoed our wedding, which I have yet to edit because my computer hates me, which we've discussed before. Let's see. Transportation to or from the wedding. We didn't get a limo or anything like that. After I got my hair done, my best friend drove me in my car to the church to get dressed and all of that. And then on the way from the church to pictures and then the reception, my mom's boyfriend had a really nice Lincoln, and me, my husband, my maid of honor, which was my cousin, and the best man, which was one of his brothers, we all drove off together. Okay, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Yes, we had all of that. Wedding dress style. I had a strapless dress with some beading on the front, an A-line skirt, and some ruching. I have a picture I'll show you. I don't know how well you can see the dress, but I'll show you. Describe your bouquet. I had a friend make my bouquet and all my bridesmaids' bouquets when I lived in Arizona, and I sent them home, and my mom decided that they were ugly. So my aunt, who is extremely crafty, she ended up making all of the bridesmaids' bouquets and my bouquet, and it was... Just bring this up. It was white, orange, and purple flowers. Ooh, that's a glare. I don't know if you guys, that's a pretty big glare. But that was my dress. The beading here at the top you can see, and then that was the bouquet that my aunt made. And the bridesmaids' bouquets were pretty much orange and purple with like jewels and stuff in them. Send each other notes or a gift before the ceremony. We didn't do gifts because we just didn't really feel like we needed to do a gift. But we did decide to do notes. Being the horrible person that I am, I forgot and only remembered when I got his note from my brother-in-law. Whoops. Let's see. Walk down the aisle to which song? I walked down the aisle to Marry Me by Train. And we also had the mothers walked out to Boys Love Girls, Two Become One. And my bridesmaids walked down to, I don't know who sings it, but it's from the soundtrack of Enchanted. It's called So Close. DJ or band. We had a DJ. Reception indoors or outdoors? It was indoors. Our first song. Our official song is Rascal Flatts, The Day Before You. That's our first dance song and our song. Describe your cake or dessert. Did you have cake in the face? Like I said, we had a cupcake tower, so we had all the cupcakes for the guests, and then the top tier was pumpkin flavored cake. And yes, we did do cake in the face, but we had guidelines. I told my husband that he was not allowed to get the pumpkin colored cake on my white dress or in my eyelashes because I wore fake eyelashes. But yeah, we did that. It was actually a lot of fun. Did the reception go as planned? Yes, it was great. Nothing crazy happened and everybody had a good time. Left before the guests departed or stayed until the last dance? No, we stayed until the absolute end. And we actually did go out afterwards, and funny story is my mom took my car home and somebody was supposed to take us out afterwards, and we were kind of left standing in the parking lot like we don't have a ride. And so my husband's brother ended up taking us out to meet everybody else. Let's see, honeymoon. Yes, we went to Maya Riviera and it was fabulous except for the hurricane. So my husband hates to lay on the beach and I love to lay on the beach, so I tricked him by promising that we would go to the Mayan ruins, and the joke's on me because we didn't get to lay by the beach because the hurricane hit. So, but we did go to the Mayan ruins. Your biggest expense of the day, and was it worth it? Probably the biggest expense of the day was just renting the hall and with the food and the open bar and all of that. And absolutely it was worth it. It was worth every penny. Worst moment of the day? I can't think of a worst moment. Okay, I don't know why that stopped. Worst moment of the day, the church where we were married doesn't have a large center aisle. It has two like side aisles that are pretty narrow. And when we got announced and we were walking out of the church, my husband stepped on my dress and ripped it a little bit. But nobody could tell, who cares? So I guess that was the worst moment of the day, if that's what you really want to call it. Let's see. If you could, would you do it all again? No. If it was very stressful planning and coordinating with, you know, different people, and a lot of the time I was across the country, if I could have the money to hire a wedding planner and say, this is what I want to show up at, you know, 3 o'clock, yes. But no, it was extremely stressful for, you know, a couple of hours of, I'll be honest with you, I barely remember my wedding. I don't remember any single conversation I had with anybody. It was a great time. It was beautiful, but it goes by so fast. And you quickly realize that all of the little things that you spent, you know, a week trying to decide and agonizing over, they just don't really matter. It just matters if, you know, you had a good time, your guests had a good time, and you were just with all your friends and family. And for that aspect, yes, I would do it, but planning it again, pass. And that's it. So that is my wedding day tag. So just trying to do something fun to spice it up around here because we don't have a lot of good news going on, which you'll find out soon why. Bye!